Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time. I'm Amy.
And I'm Garry.
And we're so excited to have Veronica Brown and Joey. How do you pronounce your last name, Joey?
DePaolo.
DePaolo. Okay, I was going to go.
We were saying it right.
And Joey DePaolo to the podcast. This real life couple is the creative team behind Hallmark. She's Making a List, which premiered during 2025's Countdown to Christmas lineup on the Hallmark channel. So Veronica and Joey, welcome to the podcast. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. So before we discuss She's Making a List, we'd like to learn a little bit about each of you and your journey into the entertainment industry. So what first sparked your interest in the television and film genre? We'll go with you, Veronica, first.
Okay. Well, I grew up watching movies in theaters, primarily. And I think like everybody, I'm a millennial child. So we grew up loving all of that culture. And I'm also autistic. So now that I know that, it kind of makes sense why I fell in love with narrative storytelling, because it helped me kind of communicate and connect to other experiences in a way I could understand through pattern assessment, which is how you really kind of storytell.
Right.
So I fell in love with it, and I feel like it's one of the most impactful ways of accessing culture and accessing a mass audience. And if done responsibly and done intelligently, it can really have a massive cultural impact. And that's always kind of been a priority for me in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the short answer.
Yeah. No, that was good. That was great. It's very interesting.
So which do you prefer, TV or film?
They're completely different mediums. I think TV movies are a really fun area for us to play in, just because, and we went there first, quite honestly. I have a long history of in this industry. I actually started in indie film. I jumped to HBO. And so I worked in drama development for a long time. And then I went actually to Blumhouse, to the TV, where they were just getting started. So I've spent most of my life in TV. And then doing TV movies is kind of like that segue. And I've just always said, from a development standpoint, TV is more complicated.
Right.
So I wanted to have my core development career existing within TV, because the structure is so different than film. Film is very straightforward. And so TV movies is kind of the best of both worlds, where especially at this budget size, and with this kind of condensed timeline for production, having a really smart understanding of TV development is actually really key in maximizing impact in the production realm of this world. So I love both. They're just completely different mediums. It's apples to oranges.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, what about you, Joey?
I was obsessed with storytelling ever since I was a kid. I would run around the house with the tape recorder, chasing my brother and sister around, recording them doing commercials and making them do radio shows with me. And I was just obsessed with telling stories in any medium I could. I was the kid in high school that would carry a video camera around. I would turn every class assignment into a video. And so then when I graduated, I took a big swing and applied to one college. That was NYU. I got into film school, and that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in the city. And NYU had more of an independent film flair with their alumni. And that was the exposure I got. I spent a lot of time on working on sets of independent movies, and ended up being a very helpful thing, now working with kind of lower budget projects like this, and in learning how those things are made. So yeah, that I knew from the beginning. I just always knew that I was here to tell stories one way or another.
Do you still have any of those videos?
I do.
You took as a kid?
They're in very old versions of media that don't really exist anymore. So
yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about the Goldbergs. I don't know if you ever watched that TV series.
Yeah, right.
Where Adam Goldberg, so that's like based on his actual films that he did. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. I always find it interesting, because we watch a lot of documentaries, that directors and writers, they're always at a young age filming just throughout their life. And you can tell when somebody's really into it. So that's an interesting story.
Yeah, I think for this industry, you have to love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it seems
It's
like
not really very good if not.
Yeah, but you always hear it was at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
I knew exactly when I was going to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And it helps. Like I was a middle child too. And so I was very much a bridge communicator between my younger brother, my older sister, my parents, right? And so when you're that facilitator of like language and communication, you learn how to communicate and articulate in a certain way. And it was just really conducive to me, becoming a master of words and learning, the best ways to communicate things, right? So from a fundamental place, it was a part of my life. So I think just very structurally in my life, I was kind of born to do this type of thing in one way or another. So I think we all have that lot in life we're kind of born into, and that was just one of them for me.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Now, Veronica, you've been the executive producer on several Hallmark films, like Retreat to You, An American in Austin, The Real West, Journey to You, which is where you and I first started communicating after we did our review of Journey to You.
Yeah.
And she's making a list. Now, how did you first become involved with Hallmark Productions, and what initially drew you to producing for their network?
So in about 2020, there was just a really there's a lull in the industry, obviously, and because of COVID. And I had a good friend who was at FX while I was at HBO, and so we'd always had a connection. We grew up in the business together, and she landed at Hallmark, and she called me, and she was like, "Come produce for me. Like, I want to, I want to make." Really thoughtful movies, just bring something in, and she really wanted to bring kind of this prestige understanding to development to it, and because it's a very difficult, people don't realize how difficult it is to thread a needle with that. Did I just cut out?
No, you're
Production.
good.
No, you're
Okay. Thread a needle with production to actually do, complex storytelling. Like American Austin's a perfect example. And Joey actually wrote that for us in a week.
Oh, you did? Joey, you wrote
He
that?
actually rewrote that one for
We
us.
just watched that not too long ago. I loved it. Oh my God.
So that's a perfect example of one that is just incredibly difficult. And Laura Gaines, who's just an exceptional executive, brought me in to do that. And Retreat was the first one. And then American Austin, she called me and she says, I have this concept, the script, it's too big, honestly. And there were people internally that just didn't think it could be made at the budget level. And she's like, I need you to come do this with me. And I took one look at it and was like, it is too big. We cannot do this the way it was originally written, and for some other reasons. And fortunately, I live in house with a writer, and we literally locked the door.
Wow.
We redeveloped it completely from page one in a week. And then I literally was in Bulgaria as he was sending me rewrites. And it was really, really tough. And then we rewrote scenes to limitations when I got there. So that was part of the reason we were able to do that. And somehow with the crew, we were able to pull off nothing short of a miracle, because there's no reason we should have been able to have that level of cast. I mean, the cast was incredible. The amount of coverage you have to get with a cast of 10 main characters is really complex. I mean, that was a true ensemble. And it was just a really difficult tone to land comedically. And just, we had the best team involved. And that's actually my favorite movie that I've gotten a chance to do, because I think it's special. I think it has a theatrical element to it that really could have played. I think, you have any recognizable attachments to that, and that is a theatrical movie.
Yeah, it was so fun, so funny. So we really enjoyed it. I mean,
thank you.
And I mean, we laughed out loud a lot during it. Yeah, and we just watched it recently.
Thank you. And what's funny is actually that's part of the, part of my frustration with she's making a list is actually that the tone is supposed to be the same. And I think that somehow was lost in translation, because it's very much Joey and my comedic brand is just really, it's self-aware comedy, right? And that's what the
Yes.
whole thing with She's Making a List is like, we know it's ridiculous. That's why it starts ridiculous. It's supposed to be taking place in a world that is just, it's make believe. It's we're taking existing lore and we're jumping in.
Right.
And we're
Yeah.
playing on the fact that this lore is insane. And we just keep it, it's a normal lore for us.
Now, you mentioned earlier about the fact that you're autistic, so that
Mhm.
that really being an executive producer helps you hone that. Is that or the autism helps you?
That's a really interesting question. It's a great question because I like to say it. The reason I'm able to do what I do is because I'm autistic.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of people that hear autistic and think there's no way I'm able to do what I'm able to do because we have such a disconnected understanding of what autism really is. Autism is a brain processing. There's different levels of communication that you have within autism. I was very fortunate to grow up in an environment where I had no idea that I should be limited. And therefore, I never was. I very purposely was put into schools that were really hands on, that were very, and I went to a college that was a small hands on. So there was just an immediate addressing of my learning from development ages. And so I was able to really thrive throughout my entire life without this feeling of really being as hindered as I functionally am because of the societal expectations.
Yeah.
For my brain to fit into. And so, and there was a point where I rebelled from very specific, rigid scholastic structures because it just wasn't right for my brain. And I just kind of was like, I'll figure it out. And luckily, film is one of those worlds where you can dive in, and neurodivergence really thrive in that because of our exceptional pattern assessment. And that is all filmmaking really is your ability to really recognize those patterns. So yes, I'm a psychopath because of my autism when it comes to like films.
Well, no.
No, truly, I am in the things that I see, the things that bump on me, all those things are exclusively, and I speak about it very factually. Like I talk about this all the time where I don't have any problem killing certain aspects of, these are my babies, but I don't have any problem killing creative because I understand what I'm compromising for and I know how to make those tough calls, and there's a disconnect in that emotion because it's just the right way. So I can look at my movies and I can really objectively say what I don't like and what I do like.
Well, that's awesome.
That's great. And I think it's just so important too, is that you touched on it, kids learn differently in different ways and I remember when my kids were in elementary school, one of the teachers, the new thing was to kind of use song and storytelling, and they took the desks away and they were more, mobile, and the kids loved it and thrived in that, and it's kind of changing the norm. And like you said, getting people to think about things differently. Instead of the rigid structure, this is how you learn, this is what you need to do, you need to memorize,
It's why it's so important for me to be associated with autism, because we think of a certain nonverbal communication with autism, and that's just not the case. And the reason it's a disability is because we have a neurotypical structure of society. So we've disabled different thinking. It's not actually a disability in a world that creates pathways for people that think differently.
Right.
Yeah, I love that, disabled ways of thinking. Yeah.
It's only disabled to people that don't able it.
Able it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such an amazing story.
Yeah.
Well, you ready to get into She's Making a List? That's good.
Jumping at the bit.
You're jumping at the bit. You're ready. You're ready.
Jumping at the bit. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, Joey. Every movie starts with an idea. How did the concept for She's Making a List come about, and what inspired you to tell this particular story?
Wow. I would say this one came about like a lot of ideas that Veronica and I come about. We have I think a rhythm to us creatively when we create projects, when we develop projects, when we write projects. And a lot of times the seed starts with her. And she has a very unique antenna to the universe, and certain things get caught in that antenna. And this was one of those. And so she came to me with the seed that she had. And what we traditionally do whenever we have like a good way into something, a good like seed, a good idea, is we make a date night of it. And we spend the date with the mission that when we finish that date, we come to the end of the night, we have our hook and we have our way in and we have our access point to that idea and we built it out. And that was the case with She's Making a List. Uh, the idea was to kind of dig into a piece of Christmas iconography that hadn't really been fully dug out yet, which is, as you guys know, difficult to do in the Hallmark world.
Yeah.
They've asked everything there is in Christmas. You have heard the story before. Whatever it is, you can come up with something you think is the most unique thing you've ever heard. Hallmark made that movie in, 1995. So
It's
Yeah.
true.
but she dug into the naughty or nice list, and that was something that we really had a lot of fun digging into. And
And
I
they've
think
really covered a lot of it too.
Yes.
they really have. And so the concept was, and the hook was, what if Santa outsourced the naughty or nice list and we brought it into a corporate world? What if we took that concept of evaluating naughty and niceness of children and put it into today's lens, which is a more algorithmic, artificial intelligence kind
Yeah.
of way?
Right.
What if we forced it to reconcile with the realities of today, the way we process behavior and societal needs
Mhm.
through that same lens? And so it was a really interesting process for us to sit there and really grapple with iconography. I think anytime you create something in media, whether it's a story, a book, a movie, something that's going to reach a lot of people, you are reflecting society onto itself. And
Yeah.
so when you're taking a piece of iconography from the past, it's your responsibility to kind of look at it and evaluate it and to kind of assess, how do we want to reflect that now?
Right.
And the naughty or nice list is something that's existed for a long time, 100 years. And we felt like we should probably be very thoughtful in the way we reflect that today. And what does that mean in reflecting naughty or nice kids? What does that mean today?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, I was just going to say, and I think you can totally see that in the movie. Like you said, you bring in the corporate part of it, the corporation, the algorithm that has to play into it. Everything is so much about that nowadays. I mean, that really was a big part of the movie.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
probably one of the best aspects of the movie, was that naughty or nice list being outsourced.
Yeah.
Because it is every day something's being outsourced. And now it's probably going to happen even quicker with AI. But yeah, I really love that part of the movie. I thought
And
was,
that's
and
exactly-
especially with Steve Basic, he did such a good job with that. Did you guys I don't want to skip to another question,
Yes,
but
we love Steve. He's hilarious. And if you could have seen some of the scenes with Steve that were left on the cutting room floor, like they kill me. Like those,
Oh,
he's just so funny. He's so funny. I mean, you can do a whole movie with him just as Rudolph. And I would love to, because he's just the best. But I was going to just add one thing with the creative process is also, there's always a thesis that we want to
Mhm.
base our movies off of. And the foundation of this one was obviously like, our kids innately naughty or nice. They're just kind of, I think everybody's just neutral in their learning, right? Until
Mhm.
we put context onto the behavior through our adult lenses. And that's what we really wanted to look at. And we based it, the world is exclusively, if we take the existing lore that we every Christmas season rely on for the jolliness of the season, and say, okay, what that lore being true, what does that look like today? And that's where you outsource the magic.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was such a good look at black and white too. Like there's like, when you look at kids, if they're doing something naughty, they're automatically naughty and they're put into sort of this category of naughty and they have to really earn their way back,
right.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's just not like that. There's a lot of gray area. There could be reasons. Yeah. So
Well, and that's actually exactly it. The big thing that we also had in this movie was once you're categorized, you're looked at through the lens
Right.
of the presumption of naughty, right? And that's part of the reason Charlie was so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. And she was so great too. I know we're
She's
kind of
phenomenal.
sidetracked.
Phenomenal.
The actress
Phenomenal.
was so
Yeah, we got lucky. That one
Yeah.
was luck.
Yeah, that whole chair scene where she's kind of sliding.
she
down
slips
the
down
chair
in the
and
chair
complaining.
and she's like bored. And
That
I'm like,
was
that is
good.
such a kid move. Yeah.
It's such a natural
Yes.
thing too. She just
Yeah.
brought that
Yeah.
natural inhabitants to the character, and it was really special. You luck out. You really lucked out.
Yeah, you guys did a really good job at the
That was
casting
so
on this one.
interesting about the date night too. So date night doesn't end until you leave with that with the hook and
Yeah. Well, when you live together, date night does not end.
yeah,
We work
it's just
No, it's sometimes it takes long. Sometimes we can end early.
So
now. So at what point did you guys realize this project was a good fit for Hallmark, or do you? Because we're not in the industry, so we're not really sure. Do you shop it around? You had the idea. You wrote the script.
We actually I again another executive that's phenomenal, Emily Merlin, was a close friend, and I actually I called her to find out. She wasn't in Christmas at the time, and I called her to find out kind of who would be a good fit to bring it into Christmas. And she's like, well, actually, I just got transferred into Christmas.
Oh.
So she's like, send it to me. So it was really, really serendipitous. And she bought it so quickly. I think literally it was within a week. She bought it so quickly. Netflix came back 2 weeks after we had already sold it and was like, wait, do you have that idea?
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
wow.
So, but honestly, like I wouldn't have had it any other way. Like Emily was so wonderful with this concept and really nurtured it and got it to the place that it ended up being, where we got Lacey and Andrew, which was, I mean, that is such a blessing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. When you visualize the characters and you're writing the script, those are the two that you would hope to lead the movie.
Yes.
That was literally our dream, and we couldn't believe that we got it.
So were you involved in the casting of them at all, or?
No, we didn't know. We didn't know at all. I mean, we quietly in the living room were like, do you think we could ever do that? And truly, we wrote those characters for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
The guy, Jason's character was originally called Andrew.
Oh my gosh.
So it was Andrew. It was Lacey.
They changed the name to avoid the confusion when it was sent to Andrew.
Well, it still says on IMDb as Andrew.
Wait, does it
Andrew
really?
as
Yes.
No, that's
yes.
so funny.
No,
it does.
It does.
No, yeah. If you go on IMDb, it says his name. It says
Andrew Walker.
It says Andrew Walker.
That's so
but
funny.
it does have his character, but it also says as Andrew. Okay.
I don't know if they,
because they dropped his middle initial in the credits or
probably,
something.
yeah, they dropped his middle initial, so it's as Andrew,
Walker, yeah.
Well, yeah, because
they know, guys.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
he was supposed to play Andrew. They know.
I just thought it was funny. Well, I have a question for you. So, when you write, do you guys have a favorite spot that you like to go to? I know you were talking about you go on your date nights, and then by the time you get home, it's you have your hooks and stuff. But is there one spot that you just love to write?
I write exactly where I'm sitting right now. This is this is the spot. Yeah, this is the spot.
Not very glamorous.
Oh no.
It's a great space. I love it. If I could flip the camera, I would. It's a great peaceful space to work. But we are able to work in proximity of each other as well, which I think is just awesome and just so valuable. We have unlimited touch points. I think the key to us is to the ability to have this symbiosis throughout, and that's like in macro ways through our general career moves, but also specifically throughout the creative process. We will do brainstorming in the living room together on the couch that she's sitting on, and just beat out ideas together and sit until we crack something. And then I'll be in here, locked in here like a cave, typing out, micro stuff. So like we have this rhythm that we work to. There's a handoff here and there. It's a great rhythm, but it's a very complementary process. We both are kind of very additive to different parts of the rhythms of writing and developing. And so there's a lot of like tag teaming.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so great to have each other to bounce off of.
Yeah.
And have it right there, so you can get the feedback immediately. And I would presume you seem like you would give each other honest feedback too, and not just,
That's one of the beautiful gifts of autism.
Yeah.
I don't really curb my notes. He's had to
As
really
direct as she can be. Yeah.
grow some thick skin. And, it's part of the reason I love working with him and him alone, because it takes out so much of the fat of having to kind of curb my feelings on something and just be like, no, just do it. It's either we cut it now or we cut it when I'm on set, and we have a lot less time to think through something. Right.
So to give you guys
be really harsh.
To give you a peek of the process, so then I'll be in here. So we'll crack the major points of the idea together. I'll come in here. My strength is like the scaffolding of it, right? The structure, the building of the world, right? I'll bring that to her, and then she'll take a baseball bat to the scaffolding and turn like a side door into the main entrance, right? And that's what she does. And I'll bring a scene to her that's like a first draft of a scene. She'll read it, and I will watch on her face. She just twitches and kind of tweaks out because
you can tell
the rhythm of the scene is off, right? She won't final draft, and she will let me know in reality, just be like, wrong. This is wrong.
Right.
And just figure this out. The rhythm needs to be fixed. And after you work with your partner for a long enough time, you start to really understand what that means. There was a time where she'd circle the thing. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And now she'll circle it, and I say, you know what? Honestly, when I wrote that, I kind of felt it was off too. So it's interesting how you really start to learn each other's rhythms and anticipate them. But that's kind of how that give and take works. It's really interesting.
So once Lacey and Andrew came on board, did they bring anything unexpected to their characters or the story that helped shape the final movie that you weren't expecting?
We could talk
all of it
about what they brought, because
that's funny.
We're their two biggest fans. I personally, professionally, we love them so much. They are so phenomenal. I think Andrew, honestly, both of them. I think the world knows Lacey is an incredible comedic actress. She started that way. I want to see more and more of it. She has such an effortless charm, and with comedy, she's just so brilliant. And you saw that, especially in their meet cute. And then Andrew, he blows us away every time. He can make anything work. So
there's nothing you can't do.
There's nothing, truly. And he's also the greatest guy in the world. So the two of them are truly like the sweetest people on the planet.
Oh, that's so good to hear. It's always nice to hear. And you hear that about a lot of the Hallmark stars that are at the top. It's just,
they are wonderful.
Kind. And you guys have worked with a lot of the top tier.
Also, and credit to Hallmark, there is a culture there where they've created this world where they really, really appreciate the fan base. And I think the talent specifically really, really feels the love and reciprocates it. And I think that's what the magic is, and why everybody talks about that secret sauce of Hallmark. Well, it's the reciprocation of the love from the talent to the fans.
Right.
Wow.
Well, I have to say, Andrew kind of got two meet cutes in this movie.
Yeah.
When he bumped
he
bumped into her the first time as a maid or mead, and then when she was hiding behind the bushes, I thought that those two scenes were pretty cute.
And Lacey is pretty funny in this one.
I know.
I actually think she's really funny in this one. I don't know how much you said was
so funny,
kind of cut out, but she's really funny in this one, I think.
Especially the little quick looks at the camera. She was given. It was like,
she's brilliant. Like truly, like I hope to see her do so much more comedy, because I think people have forgotten, because she plays such a princess character so often, because she's also perfect at that she's just absolutely hilarious.
She is. She truly is.
And so gifted. She brought all that, and the physical comedy, she brought all of it.
Yeah.
There were scenes, like especially the meet cute, where
She's walking around in costumes. She's swinging hammers.
Yeah.
Like
She, when she's the construction worker, right?
Yeah.
With the
Yes.
hard hat.
Washing windows.
To her credit, she was the first one. We said, as soon as she signed on, we were like, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to not do? And she's like, I want to do it all. Let's go.
That's
Like,
awesome.
It was
So great.
That's
it was
awesome.
so cool. And so the reason it did work was because they were so game.
So another question is, like, what is the timeline to produce these movies? And what are some of the challenges that you guys face
In the production.
in the
It's a
production
good
part of it?
question. And it's different for every single movie, right? Like
Right.
with American and Austin, that turnaround was insane. With this one, we had a year in development, essentially,
Wow.
just because of the way things shook out.
Mhm.
And then we got them attached. And then once we got them attached, it moved pretty quickly. But Joey basically rewrote the whole movie again once we were in Canada in prep because the budget is such it's tight. It's really really tight. And the shoot is only 15 days. It's really really hard.
Oof.
So things have to be condensed immediately. So like there was a huge thread where originally instead of the Christmas tree farm, there was an ice skating rink, and the gift that Santa gave her was actually ice skates that she had always wanted, and she used to go to the skating rink. And we just couldn't get a skating rink at that point with that price budget. And so it became a Christmas tree farm. And so the gift changed, and that changes a huge thread of her character.
Yeah.
And that's just like one example, but there were dozens of those.
Right.
Oh, wow. So what we saw wasn't the original. Okay.
No.
Right.
The original script is absolutely hilarious.
Hilarious. I bet it is.
I mean, if you saw the script uncensored, it's I think it all kind of makes sense. Part of to Hallmark's credit, they really took a big swing on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and that's where I say, like, I think the tone it works for a lot of people. And then a lot of people don't know what to do with it yet because it's so different than what they're used to watching.
Right.
I agree. And I think, and I mentioned this to you, Veronica, when we were chatting in Messenger, that, I listened to another podcast, the Hallmark Cafe, which we love them. You guys were interviewed. They interviewed you, and it really did shift a perspective for us in watching the movie. Mm-hmm. And then when we watched it, we're like, oh, we totally get it. And, I think we really, like I said, we rewatched it recently. She's making lists in preparation for this. And we laughed out loud, at some parts. So, and I think, the perspective is important, and the things that you guys have said, it is different. And I think people need to step back and enjoy it for, from a different perspective.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel very confident that it'll age better.
Yes.
Because I think we're not quite in that space to receive it. And I think also watching American Austin, with the context of knowing that Joey and I actually created that one too, is like, you realize there's actually a pattern there. And that kind of helps bridge the tone and understand what the intention was behind the humor.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. We laughed out loud at that one too. I thought that was adorably cute. Oh my gosh. We love that.
Well, Eliza's also incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But what were you going to say, Joey? Sorry.
When you're looking to kind of do something that ambitious within an 83-minute TV movie, and you're looking to push the envelope, and you're looking to break a lot of rhythms that, especially viewership, that Hallmark knows very well. If there's one thing the network knows, it's they've curated this place. There's a reason Hallmark movies feel the way they do. They are very militant at understanding their audience and what they want and what they expect, and they deliver that. And so we come in with an ambitious idea, a risky idea that looks to change that mold. We're working against a lot of the frameworks that you were talking about, which is time, which is resources. And so it becomes a very challenging thing to kind of bring to fruition. And so there are compromises you make along the way, but you learn a lot in doing that. And I think that's been a valuable experience for us across these two movies in trying to do something really ambitious and trying to pull it off. And you have kind of uneven victories where you'll watch it and maybe you don't see it the first time, but then the second time, or with a new understanding, you'll start to understand like what was attempted. So it's a really unique experience to the Hallmark process.
Yeah.
Now, have you guys, do you ever hear from the Hallmark stars after something airs? Like, have you heard from Lacey and Andrew? Did you hear from them about it? Or, okay, I wondered what they're.
Oh yeah, we're talking to them throughout the premieres and everything. And, we're sharing things that have been said and they're sending us things. Yeah, we talk.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah. And once you have an experience also with these people, like Aaron and I in Madrid and Lacey and Andrew, and Eliza, all our stars in our movies, like you bond over, or maybe you trauma bond over the difficulty of production, but you really, really have a partnership there. And there's such a united experience. It's like going to camp with people, and that exists forever in this little time bubble. And it's just, there's always a closeness with that. And we would love to do any movie with any of those people again and again.
Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine even on the tighter schedule too, you do get closer quicker. You have to almost, with like a 2-week or 3-week shoot.
And there just needs to be such a shorthand and so much trust in the process. And we're so lucky that we were able to develop that with all our people. And we do everything we can to protect that as well. And like, if there's something they don't like, it's gone. Like there's just no reason to fight anything. And to be fair, they're all so game with everything. Right. And that's, I think, part of it. It's why it is just such a collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we just want to create, again, open communication if there's something they're uncomfortable with for whatever reason. And then I function as a vocal piece for the network to communicate that. And then the network will, give me notes and that I can integrate across the board.
I think that's actually an underspoken but a really important aspect of this type of filmmaking, which is, Veronica is the EP. She's the top name on every call sheet. And so she is the leader when it comes to setting the tone of a set. And when you are making a movie in 6 weeks, which is, a daunting process for anyone, the most important thing is the culture of that set.
Right.
And in many ways, she weaves the same rhythms that we find in the story of like hope and love into the way the set works and functions. So the way that she works with her department heads and the way she works with, people all the way down the call sheet to the very bottom, you wouldn't notice a difference from top to bottom. And she really does, in a painstaking way, work to create that culture. And it makes a difference. And so when we do come out of these films, you have a family at the end, and it's not by mistake. It's by the intentionality with which you carry yourself and you create a film.
Wow. That's such a huge compliment. Veronica. That is amazing. Yeah. That says a lot
He's
about.
Very biased.
About you. But it's important though, in what you guys do to have that kind of relationship.
Specifically, it was really special to get to do it together. So we were on set and it was really funny because we'd always hear like we'll have Al, who played Giuseppe, always say that like after a take, he'd always like look over to us under the tent behind the monitors, and you could see us communicating to each other without saying anything because we'll give each other a look when we know we have something. And so it was really fun because everybody on set gets to see kind of the way we work together, which I think is really special and makes us both better.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it shows in your movies too. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I also have to say, Kurt Long, I mean, he's so
he's the best.
I mean,
he's so funny.
Oh man, the Santa Claus. Oh my gosh.
The Santa Claus. Oh.
Gary. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he is. Right. Because he was in a couple of the Wise Men. Yeah.
We're always watching.
Yeah, he did play. Yeah, he did play.
He is like the unofficial mascot of Hallmark. You turn it on, and he's.
We love it.
Yeah. And he's on. Yep.
It's like playing Where Is Kurt?
Really. There he is. You don't have to look long.
Yeah. So real quick, tell us about Purple Crayon Entertainment.
Joe, you want to go first?
Wow. I mean, I hope we're giving kind of a little bit of a scope into what it is. We we kind of see storytelling the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one of the reasons we work so well together is we both look for the same rhythms and the same beats and the same story and the same messaging.
Right.
And it's, again, it's not really a mystery. It's love and it's hope. And we look for stories that bring that out. Um, and and so I think over the years we've really kind of sharpened and honed and seasoned the way that we do that. And kind of just increase the efficiency with which we can take something that's a really ambitious idea and filter that through. But I think that's at the heart of everything that we do. And yeah, it's kind of finding a way to take our two minds and put them to work together, and then use our two bodies to cover as much ground as we can.
And I think today, I mean, you're seeing a pretty different landscape than when we first got to Hallmark 5 years ago.
Right.
And with Obsession in the box office breaking every record, which has been something I've been really waiting to see as somebody who really started in indie films and then was also at Blumhouse who put that out. I've long said the model I've wanted to follow is the Blumhouse model for rom-coms.
Right.
And I differentiate that from Hallmark because I do think that Hallmark is such a singular brand that I think exists in its own universe in the way Disney does. And Hallmark has been an incredible training ground for kind of the production and the speed in which you have to kind of move at that price point. And because we've never really seen, and it's really, really hard to create something more joyful, something comedic in a really low price range. It's really, really hard for a lot of reasons. It looks different. That's why horror is usually what makes small indie movies and make really successful ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we want to do. So, the next stage really is, it's always been about social change. It's always about cultural influence for positive, reflecting social consciousness that is good. And I think really in a world where there's so much fear and it's very, that spreads so quickly and so readily and it's so divided. Our big, big message that we want to continue to preach is just community, and we're all in it together. We need to remember that we're not so different, and it's really, really simple stuff to communicate, and we want to do it in a way that isn't preachy, is just fun and interesting and a new angle and play on the hilarity that is our social our culture. Because there's just, if you really dissect what we are looking at any given point with anything going on, it's ridiculous for us to kind of get caught up in so much of what we do.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So do you guys have anything that you can share that is in the works, Hallmark or not Hallmark related?
Yeah, we do. We have some really exciting projects. We're right now building out one that's smaller that we aren't ready to talk about, but the one that we're really, really, really excited about is actually a Christmas movie.
Oh,
I say it's Back to the Future meets It's a Wonderful Life, which
my gosh,
is
Two great movies.
It's a very ambitious comp to make, and I get made fun of a lot by my friends when I say that, and then I make them read it and they're like, well, those are the comps. So it's kind of that's the world we're really interested in playing with, where we use kind of what we love about Hallmark as shorthand to kind of get you in, but it's actually so much bigger than that, and it has more of a Spielberg prestige kind of feel to it. Sharp comedy, and that's one that we'll be doing independently that we're really excited about.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
We're looking forward to that. Yeah.
So, if you could go back in time, right when you were about to get into the industry, what would be one bit of advice you would give yourself? Veronica, you
Well,
start.
I would give myself different advice than I'd give other people. If you ask me what I would say to other people, I would say don't.
Don't.
Don't. Just don't.
Stay as far away as possible.
It's not worth it. When I got into it, it was so much of a calling. It was I genuinely believed, and I used to say this, like I was designed to survive it. And what I mean when I say that is that like the way my brain exists as I can endure what I need to endure and still come out
Right.
with the right understanding of what I need to put out into the world. Because so readily we get corrupted by the power that you get along the way and about the influence and get caught up in. I mean, I was working at HBO and the number one thing, I was working on every project that was winning Emmys.
Wow.
And so you get really distorted in what your understanding of what you're doing and the power you have in one chair. And that's really not important. And I think that's something that there's a lot of people that's worth is completely dependent on the chair they're sitting at. And that is a very dangerous place to be because the business is so fickle and it is Game of Thrones. Like it quite literally is.
Right.
And so you work and create out of fear or out of defense of your job. And so what I would say is just never change. Do not change. Do not ever forget the mission. The moment you feel that power starting to kind of get into your bloodstream and change the way that you are making decisions or the way that you're interacting with people, you need to quit and you need to go to another place because you are starting to get distorted by the mission and what the business is doing. And that's why I think we look around this business and we see so many people and you wonder how it's possible that they're not doing more for the greater good of the business and the economy because it is. I mean, there's so much money in this business still. It's just not being facilitated in a way that allows for the nurturing of original ideas, of young, fresh talent with differing point of views. And I think it's really important that you just remember that enough, and there needs to be a point where enough is enough.
Right.
You are good. You just want to, live a life where you can make things you can stand behind.
Right.
So just work for that and stop there.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome.
I can imagine with all the years you guys have been out there, you've probably seen people change.
Yeah.
I have seen everything.
Everything. Yeah. Like from.
I mean, the stories I have,
lose that.
It's why I don't work with people I don't want to work with.
Yeah.
I just don't. We're very fortunate. We don't have to.
Right.
And we just want to continue to be the people that people want to work with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's a big one. And mine ties into that because I think there are times in your career where you don't hold all the cards. And, again, I went to film school and I wasn't prepared for what the business side of it would be like.
Right.
And just how powerless you are in the grand scheme of things. And what you lose sight of is you hand over your agency to others. I mean, quite literally, you sign with an agency and you hand over your agency to that agency, and that agency's goals are not aligned with yours.
Right.
And so finding like a motivational alignment and people that are truly looking out for your best interests, it doesn't exist. Everyone is looking out for themselves or their company's bottom line or whatever their motivation is.
Right.
And so my future self talking to my past self would say, don't trust the process. Would be that don't give over your power to people that aren't deserving of it.
Right.
And so it's easier said than done a lot of times when you are just starting out. But I think what a lot of us get tricked into is even just creatively developing stories that we think the industry wants and needs, rather than the stories that we truly are drawn to, or the stories that the world truly is deserving of or needs right now. And I think that's something that only more recently, and working with Veronica, have I really started to tap into that. And it's been the best development we've had.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, we like to end with some fun rapid fire questions. And because we're talking about a holiday movie, they're holiday related.
Go
If you guys
for
are
it.
game.
Yes, of course.
Do it.
Okay. Eggnog, yes, please. Or, ooh, and no way.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yes, please.
We're same. Real tree or artificial tree?
Ooh, artificial.
Yeah.
I grew up with
Romantically
artificial.
real.
Yeah.
Romantically real. Practically artificial.
Artificial. Yeah, we're the same way.
I'm with you, Joey.
And pre-lit.
Yeah, exactly.
No wrapping the
Amazon
lights
today.
around anywhere.
Right.
Okay. Classic Christmas carols or modern holiday pop songs?
This is Taylor Swift Christmas Tree Farm, like all day.
Modern's got that bop.
Yeah.
I'd say modern.
Awesome. Open presents on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Why not both?
There you go. There you go. You could have something.
Yeah.
It's one on Christmas Eve and the rest on
and then some.
Christmas.
You do the
Christmas Day.
teaser. Why not do it all?
The kids can't sleep after that. They open that one gift and it's like, oh,
Yeah. Meet cute in a snowstorm or spilled hot chocolate?
Ooh. Snowstorm.
all right.
A meet cute drink. Yeah. Snowstorm.
Snowstorm.
Okay. And here's the last one. Ugly Christmas sweater. Wear it or quietly judge it?
Oh, wear it.
Awesome. Yes.
I don't do anything quietly.
Right.
What about you, Joey?
I wore the ugly Christmas sweater in my previous life. And I'd say now I think I've graduated from the ugly Christmas sweater. We had a great relationship for a while, and then I said, okay, I'm done Christmas sweater.
We're done.
I can hang it up. Yeah.
I'd wear it all day, every day.
Yes.
It's for fun.
So would I.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, where can our listeners find you if they're looking for you on socials?
Oh, well, I'm at what am I? V-Town Brown. I do Instagram for myself. It's like my diary. So they can find me if they want me. But it's for me. They're gonna get bored.
Oh, wow.
No, that's not true.
I'm at DePaolo for America, but
His
same.
Instagram is really for me. He did it's one of the reasons we actually got together is I found his Instagram and I thought it was the funniest thing ever because it was originally a joke Instagram where he just did all selfies and made fun of selfie culture. Again, it's a very obscure, specific humor that and maybe only I think is the funniest thing ever.
And that's how you guys met through?
It was one of the things that kept us talking. We actually met online and I found that and I was like, wait, this guy's actually really funny.
Oh, that's so great.
It's quite a commitment.
You should write that in as a meet cute. There you go.
We have everybody always asks you guys write your love stories and our Evergreen, which is the movie that will one day come out soon, they're all our love stories. Like our relationship isn't every movie that we have. It's just a different version of it.
Different angles, yeah. But we'll be telling our love story for the rest of our lives.
That's
that's so sweet. I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, it's because it's when you find real love, and you guys know this, when you find real love, you want to give that recipe to as many people that want it. And so there's so many different ways to tell a love story. And so yeah, it's an enduring journey for us to be able to keep telling it in different ways.
Oh, that's so great. And I mean, you can just tell you guys both wear your love well. And I think that's the best way to live. Yeah.
That's a great way of putting it. Thank you, Amy.
Well, this was so much fun. Thank you both again for joining us and sharing your stories.
Likewise. Thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank you very much.
So thoughtfully. We really appreciate that. Like that's why we love to do this is it's so cool how engaged this audience is with the films. And there's no greater compliment. Whether people like it or not, the fact that they're thoughtful about it is such a compliment.
Well, we have a tradition and we always add a new film or TV series to our Christmas watch during Christmas time. But this one is definitely added.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Oh, we're definitely going to watch it. Yeah. And Christmas in July is coming up. So
yeah, that's right. Thank you so much.
All
All right. Thank you. Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.